Good morning, everybody. How are you today? It's a gorgeous day here in Minnesota. And guess what? I'm going to be out enjoying it very, very soon. I'm going down to my daughter's house and we're going to take the dog on a long walk and just have some fun mother-daughter time. So I'm really excited. So that's my plan for the day. I hope you guys have a plan to get outside and enjoy this gorgeous fall weather as well. Hello! Oh goodness, we have so many watchers, and I see some of my customers are here and some of my downline are here. Welcome. And I see you are sharing. That is all extremely good. I do a giveaway when you share. And so if you share, let me know that you've shared so I can put your name in the drawing. It's good to be here today. Oh my goodness, am I a little crooked here? Hold on. We'll see if that helps. I'm not drinking coffee. I'm saving myself. I want to have coffee with my daughter when I go down to visit her today. Don't worry, I did have one cup, but I'm saving my second cup to have with her. Good morning. Oh yes, it's so great to be here. Oh my goodness, watchers from all over the United States. Well, that's what's so fun about Stampin' Up. We don't really have like territories. So we get to have customers all over, and I do have a lot of faithful and loyal customers from all over the United States, and it just warms my heart. Thank you so much. Especially over the last month or so after my dad passed away, it was some really, really trying times, and you guys stayed so loyal and faithful, and you consistently placed orders, and it really helped my business out. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. All right, well, I am going to, I think I'm going to go ahead and get started. The first thing I'm going to do, well, you know what? Before I do that, I actually do have a little housekeeping. I am starting now this week. Well, actually, I kind of started last week. I'm only going to do Facebook Live videos on Stamping to Share on Tuesdays. We just have a lot going on right now. I'm still running out to the farm once a week, and so that sometimes that stretches into 2 days. Tomorrow I will be here and I will do a quick card along with a whole bunch of mailbox shares, and you'll find that on my group page, which is linked if you're on my business page, which is Stamping to Share. I have a public group called Happy Stampers Stamping to Share. So I will be live there tomorrow at 1 p.m. and I'm going to share a whole bunch of cards. Like, I've still got so many cards to share that came in after my dad died. And I also have a lot of downline cards. You know, we've had a couple of swaps, and I do want to share those because some of those cards use celebration items, and my goodness, celebration is ending very soon here on September 30th. So be sure to take advantage of that while you still can. There's only one item, I believe, that's no longer purchasable via celebration, and that's the dazzling paper. But I believe all the other things are still available. So anyway, just Tuesdays going forward. And then if I'm in town on a Wednesday, I'll do a mailbox share. If I'm thinking I'm not going to be in town, then I'll probably do that mailbox share on Tuesday. I'll still try to get it in once a week. It just might be on Tuesday, might be on Wednesday, depending on my schedule. So I do appreciate all of you for all of your patience and the fact that I've had to change my schedule due to life and family circumstances. It's just one of those things, a little bit out of your control, but it's all good. Everything works out. And so now I am going to flip the camera down and we'll go ahead and get started. And probably one more thing I should tell you. I mean, you're like, Kate, just get the camera flipped. Sorry. I just keep thinking of all these things I need to tell you. One more thing I'll tell you is next week, it's wedding week around here. So I know so even after, just as I tell you I'll do mailbox shares, I will not be next week because my youngest daughter is getting married. And so we have family coming in from all over, and my daughter from San Diego is going to be here this week, or next week, I should say. And so I'm going to do one quick little video a week from today on this. You have been asking for this for so long. I'm going to share how I do these dimensionals so that they're so quick and easy to do when I'm on a Facebook Live. But I've had customers say, well, Kay, you know, I would like to do this. Even though I don't do Facebook Lives, I'd still like to do this. And so, yes, okay, I'll share how I make my little dimensional. It's like a little trick with my dimensionals, and you can do it too. And so I'll share that next week on Tuesday. It's going to be a short little video because it doesn't take long to do it, but that's all. It won't be a card, and I won't be doing mailbox shares, but I will share my dimensional trick a week from today. So be sure you stay tuned for that. Okay, now truly, I think I'm finally ready to flip the camera down and we'll go ahead and get started. First I'm going to talk about our winners. So a week ago today, I did a Facebook Live and the giveaway was the 2021-2023 In Color Jewels, and we have our winners. And so here they are. We have Jeanne and Kathy. If you're watching, how exciting. So I would like for you to get in contact with me. And the way you get in contact with me is just email me. You can email me at stampingtoshare@gmail.com. And then just give me your address and I'll drop these in the mail for you with a handmade card, of course. And so that's what you need to do. Again, here are the winners from last week. And thank you again so much for sharing my videos with your friends, family, on your timeline, in your groups. I truly appreciate it. Okay, so then let's talk about what we're giving away this week. So this week, and it's a tried and true, and you really can't have too many of these, we are going to give away the Rhinestone Basic Jewels. Yes, I know, like, how many do you have in your house right now? Probably thousands, but that's okay. There's always room for another jewel. And so this will be my giveaway for this week. I'll announce the winners a week from today when I do that little dimensional trick video. So let me know that you've shared and you will definitely be in the drawing for the giveaway of the Rhinestone Basic Jewels. All right. Let's remove this top page and look at the cards that we're doing today. Oh my goodness. So yes, I'm doing 2 cards today, kind of crazy. Let me see if I can bring the video up a little bit closer so that as I'm doing these cards, you'll be able to see a little bit more in-depth detail. All right. That probably will work. The first card that we're going to create today is this one, and it has sort of a summer feel. This was one of the top 10 cards that I gave to my downline for sales. I believe it was June sales, and I awarded this to them back in July. I just haven't had a chance to share it with you, so today is the day. And it's a beautiful Thinking of You card, and it has sort of that summer vibe, which I really like. Some parts of the U.S. still have a summer vibe, although here in Minnesota, it's quickly changing. And the colors that we're going to use are, let me get this straight. It is, oh my gosh, I just had a brain freeze. Oh, Misty Moonlight, Evening Evergreen, and Old Olive. Those are the colors for that summer vibe. All right. Then we're moving into fall, and just how handy is this stamp set? You can just create the trees to be any way you want them to be, spring, winter, summer, fall. So since we're moving into fall, this is going to be the second card that we're making today, and definitely has a fall vibe. So we've got Night of Navy. We've got some soft suede. You can see that over here on the side of the card. We've got some Mary Merlot, beautiful fall color. And we also have some Mossy Meadow. No, I say that, is it Mossy Meadow? Yes, it is Mossy Meadow. There was like in the old days, there was a Mossy something or other, and I always feel like I'm getting them mixed up, but no, this is Mossy Meadow. Goodness, Kay. All right, so let's move this out of the way. And I'm going to move this out of the way, and we're going to talk about the products we're using. So we have got, of course, the gorgeous bundle, which many of my customers have already purchased. So this will give you good ideas for your cards. And if you're one of my customers who haven't purchased this, maybe this will inspire you. But this is the Beauty of Friendship bundle, great for card making year round. And we've got, I think I grabbed the wrong embossing folder, but that's okay because this one would work just as well. This is the timber embossing folder, but actually, now that I'm looking at it, I used bark. So this was a top 10 card that I did for my downline members relating to August sales. And yeah, I forgot. I just realized now, and I made these up. I mean, I got them ready weeks ago. So I'm just realizing I grabbed the wrong embossing folder. This is a bark embossing folder, but you know what? This one would look good too, and that's the timber embossing folder. Sorry about that. All right, and then we have our circles here, layering circles from Stampin' Up, a must-have item in your craft room. And then we are going to be using the basic white baker's twine that's part of the Baker's Twine Essentials pack. Do you guys realize how much twine is in this pack? 35 yards. That's amazing. That's an amazing amount of twine, and it's in all the colors that we would want. So you've got your basic white, your berry vanilla, your crumb cake, your basic black, and then this is a gray granite, you know, just a nice gray that goes with lots of grays. So this is a great little thing to get your hands on. And then I just want you to know that the two most popular twines that we tend to use are basic white and then the crumb cake. And guess what? We get 10 yards of each of those and then 5 yards of the others. So Stampin' Up really looked ahead and figured out what was going to work best for us. And I really love that pack. Then we have the Beauty of the Earth Designer Series paper. Oh my goodness. This is a lovely paper in that it can work for sure for three seasons of your year. You've got summer cards that you can make, fall cards, and then look at this. I'm going to hold it up a little closer. Does that not look like a beautiful winter scene? Oh my goodness, I have to make cards with this paper. I mean, I'm actually using it today, but I'm using the summery side, but there is a wintry side on the back, and I really love it. Okay, so let's go ahead and make that summer card first. So let me bring it into the picture here so that I can remind myself of what I'm doing. As I mentioned, I got this all ready quite a while back. Here is our card base. It is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. This is Old Olive. So I'm going to take my bone folder, fold this in half, and there we go. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do our inside panel, which is super, super easy. So we've got a 4 by 5 1/4 inch panel of basic white. And then on the other side, we're just going to take a coordinating strip of Designer Series paper. That's 3/4 by 4 inches and drop that onto the bottom. Then we're going to take our Stampin' Seal, and we are going to put some adhesive right there on the back. You only need a little at the top. You don't need to put it all over the place. It'll save a little bit on your adhesive. Plus, it will make your card more elegant in that it's loose and flowing and just a little more gorgeous, in my opinion. All right, so then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to put the next two panels on because there's no ribbon wraps or anything like that we have to worry about. And so I've got those prepared. Let me show them to you. We've got a panel of Misty Moonlight that is cut at 3 3/5 by 4 7/8. I hope you had your coffee because this is a hard amount of, that's like a weird set of numbers to say. I'll say it one more time. 3 3/5 by 4 7/8. It all works out in the end, trust me. Then, more normal numbers. Then your Designer Series paper that goes into it is 1/8 inch smaller. So that has nice, pretty numbers. 3.5 by 4 3/4. Yay! All right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our there again, look at that beautiful paper back there. I just have to make a pretty card with that. All right, so here we go. We're gonna take our multi-purpose liquid glue put it on the winter side and then flip it over and welcome summer and put that right here. And when you use glue, you get the little bit of grace in that you can wiggle this into place so that you have a nice, tiny, skinny little border all the way around. We're going to add glue one more time all the way around this card, or all the way around this panel. And we're going to stick this panel right on the front in the dead center. So just get it right there in the middle, press it into place. And wow, most of your cards done. Now we just have the stamping to do. So let's go ahead and get that started. I'm going to grab some scrap paper here. And where are my, oh no. Hold on. Here we go. I thought I'd left them across the room, but nope, they just fell into a different spot on my desk. So here are the panels we're going to be working with next. Let me share with you where this panel is going. So we've got a Mossy Meadow panel here in the background. I'm going to set that aside because that's not what we're going to work with quite yet. And we have a stamped panel where we have some birds hanging out. And so that is this panel here. It is in basic white. It's 2 by 3 3/8. So now we are going to get stamping. And the first thing that we're going to do is grab our soft suede, because that's what the trunk of our tree is going to be stamped in. And I'm going to ink that up. And we are going to stamp that. And we're going to let it hover here just a little bit over the bottom. But mainly what you're looking at is to get it pretty close to the top. There'll be just a little bit of a gap at the bottom, and that's okay. And it looks sort of like I used early espresso, but I did not. That will fade a little bit as it dries. Then I'm going to close this up for the moment. We're going to use it again on our next card, but for now it's good. Then we're going to take Mossy Meadow, and because these stamps have they are just created so beautifully, you don't even have to stamp off to get the varying tones, because the stamps that come in the set are made in such a way that you get the varying tones automatically. It's amazing. So let me show you how that is done. So we have 2 treetops. Let me show them to you. We have one that is really filled in. That's the one we're going to stamp first. And then we have one that is more of accent stamping. So we're going to take the filled in stamp first. We're going to ink that up with our Mossy Meadow. Gosh, I'm having trouble with that name today. And it's really weird how this works. See how it gives more definition here than over here? And when you translate that onto paper, it just looks really, really cool. So I'm going to have to bring this a little bit closer to my head so I can see what I'm doing here. And you're just going to stamp that over the top. And then I'm going to show you. You could really almost stop right here because look, you've got the varying tonalities. But if you want to make it a little bit more even across, take your second treetop, and you're going to ink that up again with Mossy Meadow, and you're going to stamp it right over the top. So let me show you what this looks like. Oh my goodness, it adds so much depth. So you have the varying background and so much depth. Now again, this looks really dark, but once it dries, it will look like the tree on the right. Okay, so we're going to set that aside. Actually, I'm not going to just set it aside. I'm going to clean those two pieces because I'm going to be using them in my next card. So I might as well get them cleaned up right away. I'm using my simple chamois, and I just store it in a clear mount case. Okay, here we go. Well, I should say a standard stamp case. I don't think they call it a clear mount case. Now we're going to take this Mossy Meadow again, and we're going to make sure this tree is just not hanging out in midair. We're going to ground it. So I have this little bit of ground that I'm going to work with. And I am going to stamp that right underneath the trunk. And then I'm going to flip it over and stamp it again right next door. Then I'm going to ink it up, stamp it off once, and stamp it again right here. So you have something that looks like this. And that's all you need to do. You're basically done with your stamping. So let me put this away. Well, no, I take that back. We still have to do our sentiment. So to do our sentiment, we're going to grab the Misty Moonlight. So I'll get that ready. But for now, we're going to set this onto our panel of Mossy Meadow, which is 2 1/8 by 3 1/2. I'm going to use Stampin' Seal, so I'm going to flip this over. And we will put Stampin' Seal right here on the back. And then put it on here by holding your finger kitty corner and then double checking those sides to make sure they're even. And it goes in there just perfectly. All right, so we can go ahead now and put this directly onto our card. We're not going to put it on dimensionals. We're just going to glue it down. So this is super easy. So just add glue all the way around. And you're going to set it right here, right dead center in the middle. And then we're going to work on our sentiment. So let me show you these dies again, because one of the dies that I used in advance on a piece of basic white scrap is this long skinny one. And here it is. And I am going to take our Misty Moonlight, which I have ready right here. And then I'm going to take the sentiment panel, which is Thinking of You, ink that up in Misty Moonlight. And I just want you to be aware that when you stamp it, you want to keep it more to the right-hand side. And why is that? Because you're going to be putting a twine wrap around this. So once again, you ink up Thinking of You, you keep it more to the right side. And when you do that, you end up with a little more room over here so that you have room to wrap the twine. All right, so then what you're going to do is you're going to layer that onto a Misty Moonlight panel that is 5/8 by 2 1/2. So some little tiny measurements here, but it's all worth it. And you can go ahead and you can use Stampin' Seal, or in this case, I'm just going to use a very skinny little layer of glue. And then we're going to set this right here. And then we're going to do our wrap. But because I'm all thumbs in these videos, and I know you all know how to do this, I'm going to show you that I did wrap in advance. So what did I do? I wrapped the baker's twine white around 2 times, and then I tied it in a bow. And it does take a little fussing, so I'm not going to try to wrap it live. Trust me, you can do it. It's just going to be a little bit fussy. And if you just don't want to bother, you know, just tie a bow and put it on a glue dot and stick it there. You don't have to do the wrap if you don't want to. Just stick a little tiny bow on with a glue dot, which also works. All right, so then we're going to take this, we're going to flip it over. We are going to add some dimensionals to the back. And I'll put 3 on. And then this is going to go right here, pretty much right in the middle of the trunk. And then you can press that on and it looks like that. But we haven't gotten to our finishing touch. And I did do this in advance with the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine because, again, in addition to this little die that I used here, you can cut out 2 birds in one fell swoop. So you're not killing 2 birds with 1 stone, but you're getting 2 birds with 1 swoop in your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And they face each other. So how cute is that? I love it. All right, so to put that on, you're just going to use, if I can find it, just going to use mini glue dots. So I'm going to stick this on with a mini glue dot. Of course, it does help to get the mini glue dot actually onto the item that you're sticking on. Wow, I'm having so much trouble here. Here we go. And then the other one. Oh my goodness, and they're just perched so cutely in their little tree. So this is a great, cute little summer card for you to make. And there's the other one. Now, oh joy, we can start our fall card. It's gonna be fun, you guys. So let me clean up here a little bit and get the other card into the picture. And here it is. This one uses Mary Merlot as your card base, and it has a little bit of a fun fold. I mean, not really too technically difficult, but it's still quite pretty and offers just a little bit of a surprise when people get it in the mail. All right, so how do we make this card? So let's go ahead and make this card. So the first thing we're going to do is we have some Mary Merlot Designer Series paper, or Mary Merlot cardstock here, and I have it cut at 5.5 by 7.5, scored at 4 1/4. Then what you're going to do is fold it along the score line, and again, grab that bone folder, make a nice crisp fold. Grabbing a few things. We're going to do our inside panel first, and that is 4 by 5 1/4, and it's in basic white. And then we've got a 1-inch strip of Designer Series paper from the, what is the name of this? Beauty of the Earth Designer Series paper. So a 1-inch strip, and we're just going to take it, hold it next to the whisper, or to the basic white, and just put it on like this. And you can see that strip goes over and above where it really needs to, but that's okay. You can trim it even. Plus it gives you a nice little handle to hang on to it. I like that. Then you're going to set it here, wiggle that into place. Of course, it would help if I did not have it white on white. There we go. All right. That looks pretty good. Now you can take your paper snips and just trim that edge even. There we go. So that's our inside panel. So we're going to go ahead and put that on with a little Stampin' Seal at the top and add that to the inside panel and just center it in there. And look at that. When you close the card, you have this lovely wood grain on the right-hand side. I love that. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we've got another panel of paper here. And again, it's this gorgeous paper from Beauty of the Earth Designer Series paper. This one is 3 by 4 1/4. And look at those beautiful, beautiful fall trees in the mist. This is like got to be one of the prettiest papers Stampin' Up has ever come up with. I love it. It's got that gorgeous watercolor look. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw some glue on the back of this panel, and we can glue it straight on down. Let's flip that over and put it right here. And you're just measuring it out so that it's about even on the right and left and at the top. And again, this was a card that my downline members who were in top 10 of sales received, I believe it was just this past month. So that was for August sales. But it's so pretty. All right, what's the next thing we can do? Oh yes, this panel that I pre-embossed with the bark, but actually timber embossing folder, or really a lot of other embossing folders would also probably work, but I used the bark 3D embossing folder. I did this in advance. The measurements are 1 1/4 by 3 inches. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take some of that baker's twine, and I have to just jump up and get a roll that I've already started. There we go. It kind of unrolled. All right, so what I'm going to do is I want to make kind of a crisscross pattern on here. So I'm going to start right here. I'm going to grab some Scotch tape to hold that in place. I'm going to bring it from the upper right to the lower left. And then we're going to bring it straight across like this, and then bring it up so that you get a nice crisscross feature on this bottom panel. Then I'll just add tape back here so everything stays into place. Oh, and why not add a little more tape? Just because adding tape is fun. There we go. Now, we are going to glue this panel into place, and you can see that it fits right down here. I'm going to set this aside for a second. I think you can see it better without that. All right, so we're going to take our multi-purpose liquid glue, and we'll just add some glue right through the back of that panel and set this on. And then just give it a little bit of time to dry, because this is a little lumpy and bumpy with all of that baker's twine on the back. I'm just going to hold it into place for a little bit just to get it all settled in. There we go. Now I'm going to take some baker's twine, and I suppose I want about 12 inches, which is probably pretty generous, but because I'm on camera, I don't want to goof it up. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to do a little wrap, and then I'm going to tie on a bow right down here. See? So let me get the little bow going. And like I said, I probably used more than I needed to, but I didn't want to have to be too fussy with it on camera. There it is. And then trim those edges. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful card. And we haven't even completed it, and it's so pretty. All right, so that's basically getting your entire card base ready. Now we just have to stamp the tree. So let me go ahead and get that going. So now we are going to need some scrap paper again. So I'm going to bring this back in. It's so big, I think I'm going to fold it in half here. And we are going to be using, and I did pre-cut this, but I want to show you, we've got the layering circles here. Sorry, I keep looking for things. They're here, they're just kind of hidden. And what I did is I took the second largest scallop layering circle and cut out the Night of Navy image here, the Night of Navy scallop circle. Again, that's the second largest. And then I took the second largest straight circle and cut out a basic white circle. All right, and that's all there is to it. Then we're going to stamp and embellish and put it onto our card. So we're going to set this aside because the one we're going to work with is right here, and it is this circle. And we are going to start by grabbing the soft suede ink, and we are going to ink up that trunk again with soft suede. And this time, ooh, I did not get ink on myself. This time I'm just going straight up almost to the top of the circle. And we have something that looks like this. And that's, then what I'm going to do is remember that one little, remember this little thing? I don't want it just kind of hanging there. I want to give it some ground. So I'm going to clean this off with my chamois. I was looking around for it, but I found it. Here it is. I'm just going to clean it off because we're switching colors. We're going to take this and ink it up with the soft suede. And then I'm just going to stamp that right there, just so it has a little something to sit on. All right, so then we'll put the soft suede away, and we're going to grab 2 colors of ink. We're going to take Mary Merlot and Cajun Craze. And these 2 colors look so beautiful together for fall cards. And so I'm so excited to share with you how I did this. So I am going to do the Mary Merlot first, and then we're going to do the Cajun Craze over the top. And so we're going to take that one that's really, really filled in. Remember how I was sharing that with you? You're going to ink that up in the Mary Merlot. And go ahead and put your tree down. And then we are going to take the Cajun Craze and ink up the more detailed stamp. And we're going to stamp that right over the top. And it's beautiful. Ah, there we go. Look at how pretty that is. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take, so let me get these out of the way. No, I can't get these out of the way because we have something to do yet. But I want to get my sentiment onto this circle next. So I've got Night of Navy ink. And we're going to take the Hello sentiment. And I'm going to stamp that right over here. Oh, about halfway up the trunk. And then we're going to put a whole bunch of leaves on the bottom here. So to get the impression of leaves that have fallen down, there's a little stamp that, let me grab the stamp case here, that looks like this. And when you stamp it all around, it sort of looks like leaves. So I'm going to stamp a bunch of Mary Merlot first. So I'm just inking this up, kind of randomly stamping it here along the bottom. Then I'm going to clean it. And we're going to stamp Mary Merlot, or I'm sorry, we're going to stamp the Cajun Craze in some of those other open spaces. Oh my goodness, it looks beautiful. Isn't it gorgeous? So then all we have to do, because that's basically it, all we have to do is attach it to our Night of Navy circle here. Sorry, I'm getting distracted because my husband's upstairs and he's just rattling so much stuff around. It sounds like he's moving furniture, and I'm just thinking, what the heck? Like, what the heck? So I'm just confused. All right, so we're putting Stampin' Seal on here. We're going to put this right over the top of that scallop circle. And then we are going to take the card back into the picture. Would be really helpful if I could find the card right now. Oh, here it is. And we're going to set this, we're going to offset it so a little bit shows up over here, but most of it's going to be over here, and we're going to put that on with Stampin' Dimensionals. So I'm going to, again, grab my handy dandy little set of dimensionals somewhere. Here it is. I'm going to flip it over so that I know that I want about this much hanging off, so I'm not going to put dimensionals there. And then I am going to put dimensionals everywhere else. All right. So I got the dimensionals on, and I'm going to flip it over now, and I've got a good little handle, and I can just set this in so that it looks like this. And then for the finishing touch, we're going to add some rhinestone basic jewels. These are my giveaway, so I'm not going to open up a new pack, but I do have some little scraps here. And I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool. And we're going to take a bigger jewel first and set that, I think we'll set it right here. And then we'll take a small jewel and set it just a little closer to the tree. Oh my goodness, does that not look beautiful? Oh, I just love it. I hope you love it too. All right, there we go, our 2 cards for the day. And then we also have these 2 cards. So we got a lot accomplished this morning, did we not? Oh my goodness, I just love it. Now, if some of you, I wasn't here much of August, and I've even been a little bit limited here through September, but that does not mean I have forgotten about the very good starter special kit that Stampin' Up! Is running right now, a free bundle of your choice from our mini catalog. So I would really appreciate it that if you are one of my customers and would like to get your products at a discount, please contact me before the end of the month so that we can get you signed up and give you that great discount going forward. And you can be part of my amazing Creative Crafters stamping team. We do lots of stamping and sharing, and it's so much fun. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will be back here tomorrow for in the Happy Stampers Stamping to Share group, sharing with you how to make a quick and easy fall card. I'll also share tons and tons of cards that I've gotten in the mailbox, along with some swap cards. And then a week from today, I will share my really cute dimensional trick, because so many of you have asked about it, and I want you to have this really handy dimensional trick on your repertoire of things that you can do and start using it yourself. Have a great day, everyone. I truly appreciate you. And oh, you're hoping that I have a great time this afternoon. I know I will. In fact, I can hardly wait to turn this camera off and head outside. Talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.